One thing that pre-tribbers do way better than I do is they preach the gospel of Jesus and they show the love of Christ. And so hats off to you. And I'll get at the back of the line. You know, you guys do a great job. I'm going to try to play catch up here. If you're listening, if anybody is listening to this video and they don't know Jesus, you need to get Jesus. You need to get Jesus. Time is short. The pre-tribbers are saying, it could be tomorrow, and that's probably why they're so emphatic about it. I happen to know that we're waiting for a series of signs. Maybe that's why I'm more focused on the signs than I am getting right with Jesus. But let me say, get right with Jesus. And if you think that you are a Christian, but you suspect that maybe you have not said yes to the work of the Holy Spirit in your life, you've rejected everything that Jesus has wanted to do in your life, you've accepted salvation and ran off to do whatever you want, then fall on your knees and ask forgiveness and say, give me another chance. I'll do whatever you want. Just help me. Help me to do it. A little story. There was a rich man and he had 3 servants and he said, each one of you go out and find how much grain I have. And one guy came back right away and he said, you have 400 bushels. And the rich man said, how do you know? And the servant said, well, I just asked the guy that's in charge of all your barns. And the second servant came in a couple hours later and he said, you have 800 bushels. And the rich man said, how do you know? And he said, easy. I went to all the barns and asked each guy in charge of each barn, how much bushels do you have? How many bushels do you have? And then the third guy came in at the end of the day and he said, phew, you have 1,200 bushels. And the wealthy man said, how do you know? And he said, I went to each barn and then I counted each bushel. And so this is pre-trib, post-trib, and pre-wrath. Pre-trib and post-trib pre-trib and post-trib, they get their information from somebody else. They get it from some pastor somewhere. And if you ask them, did you investigate across the board? They will either say, well, yeah, I went through a course or I studied, or they will say, I have to do that yet. If you ask a pre-wrath person, why do you believe what you believe? Across the board, they say, I used to be pre-trib, then I investigated, and I found out differently.